What's up, Gray Party? For my second video, and I'll probably do a couple of these, it's just gonna be like a random rant on being a dad. So, July 18th, 2023, which is about 5 months ago, I had a little baby daughter, and it really changed my whole like perspective on things. It's total cliche, like you hear that from any dad. But one thing I'll talk about today is just the slowness of natural life. Um, I was the youngest in my family, so I don't have a ton of experience, or I didn't have a ton of experience going in with babies. And the one thing that just shocked me is just how slow everything is. Like, like you'll talk to parents and they'll say, "Man, time flies." And I guess there is kind of like a duality where I am looking back and saying, "Oh my God, that was 5 months ago that Emery was born." Um, but the other thing I just noticed, like in the moment, like day to day, is that Emery and babies in general just like develop really, really, really slow. Uh, I remember the first time I put her down on a little like gym mat for her to play on her tummy. I was almost expecting her to develop like over a few sessions, like the ability to like crawl, move around. But even months later now, like she just sort of flails around in her stomach. And now she can kind of like twist herself around and move kind of like clockwise or counterclockwise while still on her stomach. But she still doesn't have like the motor skills to grip the mat and like actually crawl or move forward. And it kind of just to tie it in with the stuff I talk about on this channel, it just reminds me of how like fast everything moves like in the online world, how your perspective on something can shift really quickly over the course of like you know I don't know, watching like a few different videos or like watching like a documentary or something. It might completely shift like your perspective on something. But it's just really like moving a bunch of neurons. I'm not like a biologist or anything, but it's really just like changing a few like mental sort of like thought processes up here. So you have to wonder if it's really, if it's really change, or if it's something substantive, or is it just sort of like a mental kind of stimulation thing? Because it's the same thing with like a lot of self-development or self-help stuff that you might see um, like online. I'm in the process of doing this like Cal Newport like 40 days reinvent your life thing, super cheesy sounding. But the great thing about it is that actually it's not 40 days. I think it's like 3 or 4 months, but it's just the current stage that I'm in is a 40-day thing. But the thing about that plan is that it does take like a long time. It's like, it's multiple weeks and months. And I have sort of noticed like gradual changes. I'm re-engaging in like sort of in more like religious practices during this phase. And over time I've seen that have some changes in my perspective, but still it's just very slow, and it's not like progress is not linear at all. It's like you kind of just go up and down, and it's like it's not something that could really be planned per se. Like certain events just kind of come in and give you a little bit of awareness, and that kind of moves you in a different direction. But getting back to just human development, um, babies like spend a really long time just kind of being not all that sentient, and day to day you don't necessarily see the changes so much, but it's just over time you see changes in like the sleep awake cycle. You start to see like their voice kind of come out, their sort of like baby voice, and you get, in a way, you get to experience life on a level that is kind of there underneath the surface all the time, like the super like emotional kind of level, but one that as you grow and you become an adult and you have these experiences that bounce off of you, you start to lose touch with that, and you start to, as an adult, you start to live life at this very like kind of logical level where you're kind of like managing consequences and managing your day. But just for example, like, it's the weekend, it's Saturday, and I just got the sense that, Emery wanted to spend time with both me and her mom uh, today because, her mom uh, works in the office. I generally work from home, but I had off last week. So she didn't get a lot of time to just spend with us together. And I just thought about what that meant, like for me, spending time with the whole family. For me, it's something like, for me to feel that like I did something, it would require us to like leave the house, maybe go somewhere like the museum or the aquarium or something like that. But for Emery, at her stage of development, it's literally the ability to just like be in the same room and for her to look back and forth and see mom and see dad, see mom and see dad. And she loves that. Like she gets really excited about that. You can see her just smile as she looks back and forth. And on some level like that is in all of us, like the ability to kind of just enjoy the really basics, the basic kind of pleasures of life. Uh, and having a kid definitely helps you keep in touch with that. So that's it for this little dad rant. I'm sure I'll be doing a few soon. Peace. Keep it great.